thighs come, feet closer together. And then take your hands softly on top of your shoulders, just encouraging them to move away from your earlobes, lengthening the neck. And then take your hands on the front of your shoulders, encouraging them to gently drop down, right? Thereby broadening the chest. Beautiful. And then go ahead and relax your arms by your side with your palms up. Relax your eyelids. Just close your eyes for a moment and begin to breathe a little deeper, right? Closing the mouth, inhaling through the nose a few counts, and exhaling through the nose a few counts. So just becoming present to our practice on the mat, trying to relax a few minutes before we begin our movement. Inhaling and exhaling deeply. And maybe concentrating on the exhalation, using that to drop into the mat, perhaps relax somewhere you might not be relaxed, right? How do we know? Well, we know if our muscles are a little tense, and as we exhale, if we soften. It usually begins in the shoulders and the chest, but it could be in the feet, even though our feet are flat. It could be in the knees, they might kind of meld together. It could be your face softening. And keep the breath moving. And then just take a little time to allow yourself, acknowledge your intention, whatever that may be for your practice. Maybe to be mindful, maybe to be a little laissez-faire, carefree. Maybe to practice something that perhaps you don't normally practice, focusing on the breath, or maybe focusing to go a little deeper, or maybe not as deep. There's so many things we can work on during our practice. Maybe just being carefree and enjoying it. And then gently open your eyes. Just notice how you feel. And then lengthen your legs out, flex your feet, and start to activate the legs by pressing the thighs down towards the mat, drawing the toes towards your head, maybe trying to spread your toes. And then raise your arms up, clasp your hands, flip the palms, press them way up to the sky, and then draw the straight arms behind you in your mouth. So energy pushing through your heels, energizing your entire body and pressing through the hands. 3 breaths here. Right, active pose. Big stretch and last inhalation. As you exhale, release the legs, release the arms by your side. Take another breath, softening. And then rebend the knees, draw that right thigh in, extend the left leg, and begin to point and flex the foot, circle it around one way and the other. Maybe now move that hip in the socket and the opposite way. Beautiful. And then draw both thighs in, rock side to side. Keep that left thigh in, lengthen out that right leg. Same thing, point and flex. Rotate around one way and the other. And then move that hip It could be big circles or little circles, a few times one way and then the other. And then draw both thighs in, rock side to side. Beautiful. And then take a gentle, happy baby, flexing the feet, bringing them up to the ceiling, and then drawing those thighs toward your torso. Once again, full happy baby, holding outside the edge of the foot, right? Drawing the thighs closer. If that's too challenging or intense, once again, you can hold behind the calves, you can draw the thighs in like so, but you want to have your feet flexed. And let's stay here for about 3 more breaths. Right, using the breath to move towards the tailbone, down through the spine, energizing the muscles, right? Expanding the muscles. Rock a little side to side. And then lengthen the legs up, right? You might have a gentle bend in the knee, but the feet are flexed and the heels are pushing up, right? We're not quite there maybe. Our hamstrings aren't quite warmed up. And then come back to a happy baby. 3 breaths here. Rock a little side to side if that feels good. And then straighten those legs back up. Maybe now they can become a little straighter. As your legs are up, you can always hold behind the thighs if it becomes challenging, and then point and flex both feet. Beautiful. Come back to happy baby. Notice how this feels. Perhaps it's feeling a little looser, a little less challenging. And then shoot those heels back up. See if you can straighten the legs a little longer. And then hold behind either your hamstrings, that would be your back, your thighs, or the calves, and see if you can straighten a little more, drawing the toes closer towards your head. Draw the thighs in, rock side to side. Beautiful. And then go ahead and stretch the legs back out just like we started with. Push the thighs down to the mat, so much so your heels might pop up off the mat. Spread the yogi toes, draw the toes closer towards you. Bring those arms back up, clasp the hands, flip the palms, stretch way up and then way back. 3 breaths here. Notice how you feel. Beautiful. Relax the legs, bring the arms over, relax the arms. And let's just practice a little figure 4. So knees are bent. Bring that right ankle over the left thigh, foot is flexed, and clasp your hands behind the left thigh and then draw those legs towards you. Keeping the feet bent so you can protect the knees. See if notice if you're hunching your shoulders up, which is quite possible. I do it all the time. Drop them back down, away from the earlobes. And then bring that left leg back up, right? Maybe a little longer, maybe a little straighter, point and flex. Spread those yogi toes. Yeah. Yeehaw. And then bring that foot down, bring the other foot down, separate the feet wide. Drop the knees together. Gentle windshield wiper, side to side. Come back to center, switch sides. Left ankle over the right thigh. Foot is bent, foot is bent. That's weird, I've never said that. Foot is bent, yeah. Ankle is flexed. And then take the hands behind that right thigh and draw your legs towards you. Once again, notice if your shoulders are crunched up, which most likely they are because you're clasping behind your thigh. See if you can drop them down, kind of broadening the chest, rolling them back. A couple more breaths here, and then lengthen the leg, point and flex, spread those yogi toes. Beautiful. Keep the breath moving, right? That's what helps elongate those muscles, oxygenates the muscles, right? Move the breath. And then go ahead and hug the thighs in, rock side to side. And then take a gentle spinal twist. Drop the bent legs to one side. See if you can open up your chest. Roll the shoulders back and down. Maybe allow your arms to come out to a T. Maybe they're just laying beside you. Really focus on that breath. Keep the breath moving. Come back and roll to the other side. Spinal twist. Beautiful. Come back to center. Hug the knees in. Rock side to side. Rock all the way to one side and come on up to a seated posture. Cross-legged Sukhasana. I don't know about you, but I kind of feel a little warmed up. Let's work on the shoulders a little bit. So sitting in Sukhasana, hands on top of the knees or the thighs. Just roll the shoulders back. All the way up to the earlobes. This is a good opportunity for you to get them up to those earlobes. Drop them back and around. Up to the earlobes, back and down. Up to the earlobes, back and down. And then forward and around. Forward and around. Up and around. Good. And then let's just take our right hand behind us and bring our left arm up. Let's stretch it way up. Inhale and cross over to the outside of the right thigh. So my shoulders tend to, once again, they love to go up to my earlobes. Drop them down and then see if you can use that back hand like a kickstand of a bike and elongate the spine. Sit up taller and longer and gently roll that right shoulder back. Maybe gaze out towards the right. Sit up tall. Couple more breaths. Nice gentle twist. Come back to center. Left hand goes behind. Right arm reaches way up. Inhale. And then start to reach. Take that hand outside your left thigh. Use the back hand to draw your spine up. Drop your shoulders down. Start to draw that left shoulder back. Maybe have the eyes gaze out towards the left. Beautiful. Come back to center. Look at your legs. Recross them opposite way. It's usually a non-dominant leg or side. And then you can have your blocks in front if it helps you remain a little upright as we stretch forward and elongate the spine. Otherwise, just place your hands in front. Think about leading with the sternum, the chest, right? And I want you to just start to stretch out, hinging from the hips, right? So you really feel it in the low back. And we're really stretching the low back and elongating, right, the spine. So we're not worried about curving over. We're thinking about kind of just getting long. Few breaths here. And I really feel it. We all feel it in a little bit different places. You might feel it in your hips, but I feel it really the band across my low back and maybe a little bit of my glutes, my buttocks. Now go ahead and let your head drop. Bring your chin to your chest. Drop down, curl down. Now you can roll down. Couple breaths here. Keep the head, neck free. The head is heavy. And then walk your hands back up. Beautiful. Look at the legs again. Guess what? Switch them again. Sit up tall. Right hand goes down. Left arm comes up. Really, elongate, wind's going. Elongate the arm and start to stretch over to the side. Right, stretch over to the side. Trying to keep the chest open. Opening up the side ribs. Switch sides. Here we go. Stretch way up and way over. Right. Switch sides. Inhale, come up. Exhale, move down. Moving with the breath now. Inhale, come up. Exhale, move down. Couple more times. Inhale, move up. Exhale, move down. And last time, inhale, move up, stretch up, and move to the side. Beautiful. And one more thing while we're sitting here. Let's take the hands behind us, roll the shoulders up, round them back and down. Really squeeze intentionally the shoulder blades together, puffing up your chest, and gaze up at the ceiling. Lengthening the neck the back way, right? Opening up the front throat. Beautiful. And then go ahead, stretch your legs out, shake them out, find your strap, flex your feet, and go ahead and lasso your arches, sitting up tall, and separate your feet a tiny bit, as if you're holding a block in between, right? Not quite a foot. And sit up tall. Roll the shoulders down. Press the thighs down. So you're really using the strap to kind of mobilize your leg muscles, right? But you're sitting up tall. So it's kind of nice. I'm pulling the strap, but I'm also drawing my spine upwards and I'm pressing my feet into the strap. So it allows me to go a little deeper towards the back of the legs. Good. So Paschimottanasana. We're going to forward fold. I want you to stretch forward. Continue drawing those toes towards you, lengthening the arms. Forward as far as you can. This is a very deep stretch for the calves and the hamstrings, back of the legs. And then go ahead, keep stretching those hands towards the feet on the strap. If you want to release the strap and hold on to your toes, go ahead and then roll down. Let your head drop. Couple more breaths here. Beautiful. And then go ahead, shake your legs out. Bring the soles of the feet together. Draw the heels closer towards your pelvis. And then hold on to your feet or ankles and just kind of really gently rock a little side to side. Yeah. For most of us, this feels pretty good. And then come to center. And then once again, you can stay upright like so in Baddha Konasana, cobbler's pose. Or if you feel like you'd like to do another forward fold, come along with me and forward fold. It goes a little deeper into the hips. Be cautious. Beautiful, and come up. Bring the knees together. One more seated stretch before we get up and start moving a little more. Let's take our legs wide. Toes are pointing up, knees are pointing up. And just take your hands on either side of the right leg. A little twist. And then start to crawl your hands forward, any amount. And we're working both legs, so don't neglect your left leg. You want to reach for your foot, you can. If you'd rather keep your hands on either side, fine. Come back to center. Sit up tall. Turn to face the left leg. Activate the right leg. And start to walk your hands on either side of the left leg. So it's a forward fold and slight twist. So whenever we're twisting, you want to be a little cautious. Come on up. Sit up tall. The right leg, bend the knee. And then see if you can open up the hip and slide the sole of the foot towards the inside of the left leg, right? So your right leg is bent. And most of us will have our knee, most likely up because it's kind of a deep opening. You can always take your blanket or your block and pop it underneath if it allows you to feel a little better, a little supported. Yeah, good. And once again, we're going to take both hands on either side of this bent right leg, place them on either side of the leg, sit up tall, use the hands to push your spine up, and just take a gentle twist. You can see our theme today is a little bit of twisting, a little bit more twisting. And then come to center, stay here, and let's take both hands on either side of the left leg and just draw that left shoulder back. A little more of a twist. Left leg is active. Yeah, sitting up tall. So drawing the belly in, using our torso muscles that surround the spine to work. Come back to center, release that right leg gently, shake out the legs. We're going to do the same thing on the left leg. Legs go wide, take your props to the other side, because we're going to gently bend the left knee, right? I'm holding it, I'm doing it gently, and see if you can allow that leg to turn out, the hip to turn out, and draw the sole of the left foot inside the right thigh, right? Place a blanket or a block underneath. And then go ahead and take the hands on either side of that bent leg. Sit up tall. Little bit of a twist. And a hip opener. Turn to that right leg. Open twist. You can use that right hand if you want to draw that right shoulder back a little, if you want to go a little deeper. Yeah. Come back to center. Use your hands to unbend that leg. Shake, 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 shake them out. And then gently come on to all fours to tabletop, right? Neutral. Here we go. Let's just practice some cat-cows. Inhale, drawing the sternum up, dropping the belly. Exhale, push the mid back. Drop the tailbone, drop the head. So continue working this, right? We're helping the spine be a little supple, right? Instead of brittle. We want to keep it flexible as long as we can. And if you want, continue those 3 or 4 more times. I like to also kind of draw my hips in a circular manner back and then go the opposite way. It's up to you. Good. And when you've finished those, let's practice some core work, some balance work while we're weight bearing. So here we go. We've done this a gazillion times. Right arm goes out, left leg goes back. This might be where you're working today. If you want to go full bore with the pose, you can take that left leg up to hip height, toes are pointing down. And then try not to let the left arm collapse. Push up out of that left arm and neck is long. Let's take 3 more breaths here. Beautiful, switch sides. So we're working on core work, we're working on balance. Left arm comes out, right leg back. Draw the right leg up, body is long, press up out of that right arm. 3 more breaths. Beautiful, switch sides. Here we go, come on. At any point, if you want to take a child's pose, please do that. Right arm up, left leg back, left leg up. Here we go. Practice 3 long, deep breaths. Really get the energy moving. And then switch sides. Left arm, right leg, Right leg up. Beautiful. And everybody take a child's pose. Wide knees, big toes together. Draw those hips back. And then go ahead. You can stretch your arms out, bring the forehead down, or you can have your arms behind you. Or you can even stack your hands and place your forehead on the hands. Whatever is going to allow you to take a few breaths here and just have a little passive, quiet time. Beautiful. Now come back to all four. We'll get to those standing postures in a minute. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that right arm out and the left leg back. And we're going to bring knee to elbow and come back out. Knee to elbow, come back out. Knee to elbow, come on, you could do it. 2 more times, knee to elbow, working on the balance, working on the core, and then stop, come back to center. Left arm comes out, right leg goes back, and we're gonna bring knee to elbow and out. Knee to elbow and out. Knee to elbow, out. 2 more. Knee to elbow, out. 1 more. Knee to elbow, out. And everybody come down to a child's pose. All right. Little rest break. And then let's come down to our bellies. Actually, no, we're not going to come down to our belly yet. Let's come down to our forearms and our knees, shins, and we're going to practice a little bit of forearm plank, right? Let's get some of the more strenuous work out of the way. So let's bring you can have your arms parallel or you can clasp your hands. Elbows should be underneath the shoulders. And then step one leg back and step the other, and we're in forearm plank, right? So draw the belly in, push up through the forearms, and push back through your heels. And neck is long. Maybe sing a little song to yourself in your head. Yes, sirree. You can always come down to your knees, right? Take a little break and come back up. But let's see if we can kind of increase our time in this powerful, powerful pose. And then everybody come down to child's pose. Working the trunk, working the core, working the belly, working the legs. That's how we remain strong. Really good weight bearing for your joints. Here we go again. Forearms. So if you always clasp your hands, as I do, you might want to try, it might be a little more difficult. You might want to try to do parallel arms and fingers wide if you want. And then go ahead, take one leg back and then the other leg, press through the heels, draw the belly up, and we're in forearm plank. Now, while we're here, remember, you can always bring your knees down, draw the belly in, and then come back up. While we're here, if you want, those of you who like even more of a challenge, as if this isn't challenging enough, you can raise your right toes off the mat, bring them down. Left toes off the mat, down. Right toes off the mat, down. Left toes off the mat. And then come all the way down on your belly. Stack your hands, place your forehead on your hands, rock your hips side to side, bend the knees, flutter kick your feet, and relax. Relax for a moment. Good hard work. What's that saying? Good hard work never killed anybody. Sounds like my grandpa. Hopefully. Not. Okay, let's come up to Sphinx. Elbows directly underneath the shoulders. Fingers are spread. Really good opportunity for you to work your hands, the intrinsic muscles in between your fingers. Press the forearms down. Try to roll the shoulders back and draw the sternum up. All of the lower body presses firmly down. So we're like a little Sphinx in Egypt. Here we go. And then bring your forehead down to the mat. Draw the arms back by your side. Elbows draw in. Inhale, come up to low cobra. And come back down. Again, inhale up. Exhale down. If you want to take your hands up, you could do that to challenge yourself. Come on up. Take a few breaths here. Use those back muscles. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Great. Come back down. Stack your hands, forehead on the mat. Shake your booty side to side. I actually really encourage moving the hips, releasing the low back, bend the knees, flutter kick the legs, and relax them down. And then let's practice Salabhasana, locust, forehead to the mat. Arms come straight as arrows, palms facing our body. Everything presses down as in the other little mini back bends. As we inhale, come up. Sternum up, shoulder blades back. Woo. 2 more breaths here, come on. And then come down, turn your cheek to one side. Forehead on the mat. Go ahead, inhale, come up. If you want to take your arms out like an airplane, you can. You can always clasp them. It's a little more challenging, and roll those shoulders back. Come down, forehead on the mat, arms come down. Last Salabhasana. If you want to also bring your feet up, lengthening the body, you can. So you can make it as challenging for yourself, or you can go back. It might be challenging the very beginning one, okay? So here we go. You can clasp your hands or have them straight back. Forehead to the mat. Inhale, come up. If you'd like to bring the legs up, make sure you're long. Think about being long, like one of those Olympic ski jumpers. 2 more breaths here. Come on, you could do it. And come down, turn your cheek to one side, round the shoulders. Turn your toes in, let your heels pop out. And just try to, let go of everything. Let go of all the muscles. I guess sometimes when I make that noise, it allows me to feel more like spaghetti. Beautiful. And then go ahead, come on up, push back, and come to a standing posture. Grab your blocks, have them in front of you. Come on up to mountain pose, Tadasana. Tadasana. Woo. It's a little hot, I don't know about you guys. Okay. Let's practice 3 half Surya Namaskaras as if we're not warmed up already. Okay, half. Here we go. Inhale, draw up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, draw up, halfway lengthen. Exhale, fold forward. Draw all the way up. Oh, that feels good on my hamstrings. And bring your hands to your heart center. Beautiful. Inhale, come up. Exhale, fold forward. Draw up, halfway lengthen. Exhale, fold forward. Draw all the way up, reach up, and bring your hands to your heart center. Beautiful. Again. Inhale, draw the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Draw up, halfway lengthen, that's fine. Exhale, fold forward. And then draw those arms all the way up, reach up, and bring the hands to your heart center. Beautiful. Now let's practice some of our standing poses. Standing in Tadasana. Right. Separate the feet wide. We're going to practice our little vinyasa, warrior 2, reverse warrior, extended warrior. So here we go. Turn that right foot in, left foot out. Open up the chest. You should feel kind of open, hopefully. Arms are out and start to move into the left leg, right? Gazing out over the left hand. So your arms are super strong energy, but your shoulders have space between the earlobes and the shoulders. Back hand pops down, flip the front palm, try to stay low for reverse warrior, and then extend that front leg. Opening up the side ribs. Come back to warrior 2, reverse warrior, extend that leg. Come back to warrior 2, reverse warrior, extend that front leg. Beautiful. Come back to warrior 2, and then bring that left forearm on the leg. Now, once again, if you feel really open and you want to go a little deeper, you can bring a block inside that left leg, and instead of having your arm on the thigh, you can bring the arm on top of the block. But you want to make sure that you're not practicing like I am right now, right? You want to remain open if you're going to go lower and bring that arm over your head. So you're either like so, a little higher, or you can go a little lower. And then eventually you might even have a day where you're like, ooh, I feel like going real low, as long as you could stay open. Come on up. Straighten the leg, bring the hands in, parallel the feet. Roll the shoulders back, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Hinge from the hips, right? Keep the hips back there. Don't let them follow you. Long spine, find those blocks. Press into the blocks to really and press back on the hips to get such a long spine that you're like a tabletop. I can put a cup of hot tea there and you will hold it. Drop the blocks down, or you can have your hands on the floor. Keep the hips back, press them back as you extend your arms long. Head is in between the arms. This is kind of a modified down dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Svanasana. Draw the blocks back. Bring them back up. You might want to scoot your legs in a little bit, but you can keep them wide because they're going to move to the other side. Bring your hips, hands to your hips, flat back, inhale, come up. One fell swoop. Woo! Turn to the other side, right? Always have to be balanced in yoga. Here we go. We're going to move into Virabhadrasana 2, warrior 2. Good. Gaze out over that right hand. Couple breaths here. Feeling good. Alive. Happy to be here. Back hand comes down. Front palm flips up. Try to stay low as you reverse warrior. And then extend that front leg. Ah, that feels good, right? Warrior 2. Reverse warrior. Extend the front leg. Reach a little further. Come back to warrior 2. Reverse warrior. Extend the front leg. And then come back to warrior 2 and decide if you're going to go low with the block or you're going to take your right forearm to the thigh, roll that shoulder open, and finish it off. Come back to warrior 2. Straighten the leg, parallel the feet, bring the hands in, scoot the feet a little bit together, and jump or step the feet together. Tadasana, ta-da! And let's just practice before we move into Trikonasana. So a little bit of stretching and breath work. So just inhale, draw the arms up, reach up, exhale down. Like every day, just try to do this. Inhale up and exhale down. If anything, to get the cobwebs out. Inhale up, exhale down. And then let's bring our hands up, hook the thumbs, spread the fingers, stretch way up and way over. And then come back up, switch the hook, reach way up and stretch opposite. Right? Good. And release the arms. And then let's take the blocks behind us. Once again, you can always have a chair also. And we're going to practice Utthita Trikonasana, right? What is that? Y'all know it is triangle pose. So here we go. Separate the feet, just as if we're going into warrior two. Let's turn to the left, straight legs though, right? Arms come out, chest towards your monitors. And then as if I'm karate chopping that left hip, I want you to press into the back leg and I want you to reach until you can't reach any further. And then you can drop that hand on that left leg, or you can take the block next to your calf, use the block, open up the chest and bring the arm up. Press into that back leg for Trikonasana. Utthita Trikonasana, triangle pose. Couple more breaths here. Opening up. And then as we become stronger and more flexible, right? So some of us may have our hand here. You can actually lower the block as long as you can go down there and stay open, right? And eventually you'll have the hand on the floor. Come on up. Bring the hands in, parallel the feet. Roll the shoulders back. Draw the elbows back before we move to the other side. Think about keeping the hips back and just fold from the hips forward. Flat back. Flat back. And then bring your hands behind, holding onto your wrists. Roll the shoulders back. We're hovering. We're holding our body up. Deep, deep stretch in the back legs. It's a leg pose, right? Yeah. And then go ahead, inhale, come up. Oof. We should be able to keep our legs right here. Turn to the other side for Utthita Trikonasana. Open up the arms. Start to reach with that right arm. Press into the back leg to get a little more space. And then hand comes down, other arm goes up. You can use the block behind your calf if you want to go a little deeper. As long as you can keep the chest open, right? Like a starfish kind of, I say. Only a starfish has, well, I guess our head could be the fifth, right? Point, leg. 2 more breaths. Reach up as you reach down. Stretch up as you stretch down. Come on up. Parallel the feet, bring the hands in, step or jump the feet together. Alternate rolling the shoulders back. Alternate rolling them forward. Beautiful. And then flip your palms, backstroke. Once again, if this doesn't feel so great on the shoulders or you've had an injury, you don't have to go all the way around. Go halfway. Bend your elbows like cactus arms. Just keeping fluidity, juice, I like to say. Lotion is motion in those shoulders, right? Good. Shake out the hand. Shake them out, shake them out, shake them out. Good. Stand in Tadasana. Let's move into some balance poses, right? So let's just go straight ahead to tree pose. So it's kind of windy here. I hope I'm grounded, but whatever leg you'd like to start with, press both feet firmly down. That's our roots. Bring one leg out to the side diagonally. Bend the knee and decide where you're putting that foot. Foot on foot, foot on calf, or foot all the way up inside the thigh. So when you're doing that, you're really pressing the thigh into the foot, foot into the thigh. Vrksasana, tree pose. It's windy. Let's see if we can get those branches up. Couple more breaths. And come back down. And come back down. Beautiful. Shake out the legs. And once again, I want to encourage you to use whatever props give you access to these poses, okay, these asanas. So being next to a wall is perfect for the trikonasana. If you have a wall that you can have your monitor in front of, it's awesome. Having a chair in front of you for a little balance. Please use whatever props allow you to become stronger and more flexible and successful in these poses. Now, with that being said, root your feet, spread your toes, and let's go to the other side. So here we go. Other leg, bend the knee, and decide where you're putting that. Where you're putting that leg. See, I have to kind of hold on here and bring that leg up. Okay, here we go. Vrksasana. Get those branches up. Ooh, maybe you're still up there. Coming down. Shake out the hands. Shake out one leg. Shake out the other. Good. And let's just do a little, not a full dancer pose, not Virasana, but you know, we've worked a little bit of the quads. As I'm going to turn sideways, I just want you to practice by standing in Tadasana and then bend your right leg, bend the knee. You can hold on to a chair or bureau and then find the ankle, roll the right shoulder back. You can use your hand for balance, your arm for balance. Try to keep the leg close to the midline, right? And then maybe you can start to bring that leg up, maybe not, right? Maybe a little bit, maybe a lot, maybe not at all. But you're balancing on that left leg. And then come down gently. Good, perfect. So, right, we start to build our practice from the foundation, right? Really our feet. Right? So let's go to the other side. Stand into the asana. Good. Bend that left leg, bend the knee. So this in itself is beautiful. You're standing on one leg. If you can roll that left shoulder back and find that ankle, awesome. And then draw the knee, the thigh into the midline. That's going to help you. Stand up straight on that right leg. And then you can take that right arm out. And if you want to dip a little bit and reach with the right arm and draw that left leg back any amount, go ahead and try it. And come back down. Hey, everybody. Okay, before we go down to the mat, let's practice a little more hip openers. So, take your feet wide, parallel, real wide. We're going to move into goddess pose. Toes turn out, heels turn in, right? So what's important here, as you've heard me say, is to try to keep the torso upright instead of sticking your butt out so that you can get lower, right? You want to keep it upright, like the Buddha, right? So here we go. Start to bend at the knees, any amount, and bend at the hips. You can stay high if it allows you to remain aligned in this pose. Try, the knees are going to want to drop in. Try to push them out. And then staying as low as you can go while keeping the sternum up. Bring the arms up to cactus arms. You can always straighten your legs if it becomes a little challenging. Bring the arms in and bring the arms out. And in and out. In and out. Stay low. In and out. One more. In and out. Shoot the arms up. Shoot the legs straight. Take a deep breath, bring the arms down, keep the legs straight. Roll the shoulders back. Roll the shoulders forward. Good, we're gonna try that one more time with the cactus arms, but we're gonna shoot up straight like this. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna come down with cactus arms and shoot the arms up as we straighten the legs, right? So exhale as you come down. Inhale as you go up. Here we go, 4 more. Maybe you can go a little lower. I don't know. But you want to try to keep the chest up, the sternum up. Let's say 3 more. So this is 1. Up, good. 2, and up, and 3, and up, and that's enough. Parallel the feet, step or jump the feet together. Woo, we're in Tadasana. One more side stretch. Let's bring the arms in front. Draw the shoulders back so that they're aligned. Clasp the hands, flip the palms, stretch the arms way up. Some of you might even be able to go a little bit behind your ears. Don't do that if it's not comfortable. Some of you might be right here or here. It's okay. Let's stretch to one side with the hands like so. And let's stretch to the other side. So we're working our wrists. Come back to center. Release the arms. Shake out the hands. Please roll the shoulders back. Really roll the shoulders forward. Got to keep them nice and juicy. Let's come down to our mat. Okay. Yes. Good. So, and kind of keeping with our twisting mode, right? A little bit. Let's come down to the mat. We're going to do a little bit of stretching and work into our Shavasana, right? So let's go ahead and take the block in between our thighs, like so. And we're going to remember just pressing into that block and breathing, right? Tilt the pelvis a little, bring the legs up so that the shins are kind of parallel. But make sure you don't have, we have a natural curve, lumbar curve in our low back. Try to make sure that you're not over extending. So tilt the pelvis, which means maybe bring the knees closer, that you can flatten out the back a little bit, right? Squeeze that block, right? Arms can just be relaxed next to you or out to a T or out to, it feels kind of comfortable also if you're going to be in cactus arms. And what we're going to do is Jatahara Pratyahara. What? We've done this before. Squeeze the block and gently drop your legs, hovering to the left side. Come back to center, hover to the right. Back to center, being very gentle with the back. Hover to the left. Come back to center, draw the belly in. To the right. So it's very mindful, very aware. Squeeze that block. Here we go, opposite side. Come back to center. And other side. Okay, come back to center, stay right here. We're gonna do that one more time. I'm gonna add a challenge. You could do it just as we just did it to each side, or if you'd like, you can come to the side, squeeze that, and extend the legs. It's not easy. Rebend the knees, come back up, come to the other side, extend the legs. Oh, I have my wall here, but come back up, release the block, hug the thighs in. Oh, that feels good. Hug the thighs in. Yes. Woo! Hug the thighs in. Take a happy baby. Gladly, that feels so good on my back, right? Happy baby. Uh-huh. Draw the thighs in, bring the feet down, knees bent, tuck the shoulders under, right? And we're gonna do just a nice, gentle bridge pose, Setu Bandha Sarvangasana. But we're gonna raise the hips up and leave the arms just by our side. Just raise the hips up. And then draw them back down. And this time when you raise the hips up gently, go ahead and bring the arms back behind you. Lower the hips, bring the arms down. Again, raise the hips, draw the arms behind you. Nice open torso, stretching the hips up. Maybe come up on the balls of your feet, raising your heels, bringing those hips up even higher. Oh, that feels good. Drop the heels, lower the hips. Bring the arms back over. Draw the right leg in, extend the left. Switch sides. Switch sides again. Switch sides again. Nice. Draw the thighs in. Rock side to side. Go ahead and stretch both legs out. We're going to prepare for Shavasana. So if you like to roll your blanket and place it underneath your knees or take your blocks underneath your knees, go ahead and do that. That feels good. Or traditional Shavasana with our legs out, a little bit separated, feet flopping out, arms by our side, palms up, drop the shoulders, lengthen the back of the neck. And let's go ahead and inhale deeply. Clench your fists, flex your feet, tighten everything. Inhale a little more and a little bit more. And as you exhale everything out, release everything. Hands, legs, everything. Again, inhale deeply. Clench your hands, clench your feet, flex everything, tighten everything. Clench your jaw. And exhale everything out, release. One last time. Inhale. Clench your hands, clench everything, your feet, your legs. Oh, take a little more in, tighten up. And as you exhale, release everything, all the way out, all the way. Return to your normal breath. Soften your face. Drop the shoulders to the mat. Unclench your hands. The belly is soft. The hips and legs are heavy. The feet are relaxed. Find Shavasana. So we use the bell to remind us of our breath, to practice using our breath, and practice being present. So wiggle your fingers and your toes and begin to stretch your arms over your head. Taking a few nice cleansing breaths. When you're ready, bend your knees and roll to one side and bring yourself up to a seated posture. Closing out our practice. Eyes closed, we're gazing downward. Let's bring our hands together in front of our heart center. Thumbs touching our chest, bowing our head gently, honoring ourselves for coming to our mat, our practice of yoga, being kind and compassionate towards ourselves so that we may continue to be kind and compassionate towards others. And may we continue to live with generosity and much gratitude with grace. Namaste.